All right, today we are going to be taking a look at my top 5 favorite cards from Phyrexia. All will be one. What's up, control freaks? I'm Les Alex. If you dig the video, of course, like, comment down below what you think about my list, and of course, subscribe and hit the notification icon. But let's not waste any of your time. We know why you're here. So, of course, I have to give props first before we jump into this list to the Fastlands. The Fastlands are going to be amazing for Pioneer because this is the first time they've been printed since their original printing in Scars of Mirrodin way back in the day. My first pre-release ever. I was stoked to have them. They're very good for aggro decks, so I'm expecting them to plop right into all of the awesome fast decks that we have in Pioneer. And of course, they're going to be great in Standard too. Seachrome Coast is going to plop right into the Azorius aggro deck that is in Standard. But I did want to give an honorable mention first to the cycle of lands we got, which is, of course, the fast lands. So that's our honorable mention. Getting into my actual top 5 list, I do have at number 5, Minor Misstep. Now, of course, this is not Mental Misstep from New Phyrexia. This card is not going to be that impactful, in my opinion. However, I do think we could see some action in Modern. And for that reason, it is at number 5. This thing counters quite a litany of spells in Modern. Of course, it counters like almost all of the Murktide deck because they play like 16 to 21 drop spells. And of course, it stops rhinos or any hits off of the Cascade cards that we see used in Modern. This card is sweet. I'm a control mage at heart, so of course I love this one. This is definitely going to be a shakeup. I don't think it's going to be a staple in Modern, but I could see it as like a 1 to 3 of in sideboards, and I could even see up to 4 between the main deck and sideboard. If you're playing a blue deck, you probably want to have access to this in Modern in specific. Next up, we have an awesome one. We have the new Kaya. This thing is huge. Yes, it costs 7 mana, which I know that's a metric ton of mana. However, I do think that control decks might want to at least test this. And it's my list, so I'm going to put it on here. And I'm super stoked for it. It has hexproof, so it can't be removed except for a card that we might be talking about in a future spot here. But I'm super stoked for Kaya. She comes down. She's going to end the game very fast. She does about everything you want to do. She protects herself. She is a win con on a stick. I am super, super stoked for Kaya. I am so excited for this card, you guys. I can't tell you enough. I'm going to try it. The casting cost is ridiculous, but even with all that being said, I'm super stoked. I will be trying it on Twitch. And I'm going to be trying it in Pioneer, too. So I'm super stoked for this card. Some Esper control, baby. Let's go. Next up, we have, yes, the card that can remove Kaya. We have Sheoldred's Edict by far. Without a shadow of a doubt. This is the best edict we've ever seen for 1 black and a generic instant speed. You can either sack a non-token, sack a token, or sack a planeswalker. This thing is nutty. The art is awesome. I love the lore. It is kind of weird that they made it Sheoldred's Edict because now it's tied to the plane of Phyrexia and to Sheoldred herself. But this is huge for older formats, especially if you think about lands in Legacy. This thing will stop that deck in its track because now they can make you sack your Merit Lage. Oh, F's in chat for our lands playing friends because holy smokes, this thing is going to be massive in that format. But even in a format like Pioneer, I think this could see play. This card could help propel a blue-black control deck and give it that little oomph that it might need because in Pioneer, Azorius Control is king because, of course, cards like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, cards like Supreme Verdict, the Azorius version has just always been the front runner for the best control deck in Pioneer, but I'm excited to say I think Shieldred's Edict, that's like a 2 of. I'm not saying it's going to be a 4 of or anything, but the fact that it can hit Planeswalkers, of course, control decks always have struggled historically when a Planeswalker hits the battlefield, but this is a very clean answer to Planeswalkers. I'm super stoked to see Shieldred's Edict. Try it out in Pioneer. I think it'll be pretty decent in Standard as well. Obviously, Mono Black has a litany of awesome cards. So I'm super stoked, though, for Shieldred's Edict. At number 2, we have the brand new Vraska. And, of course, it has the new mechanic where you can pay 2 life and have it enter the battlefield ahead of schedule. So this thing is awesome. I'm super stoked. I know a lot of people were saying that they were not impressed by this. But I do think that the fact that she proliferates is very good. Of course, her ultimate just is game over. And then that middle ability is also good. I'm super stoked to try, again, alongside Shieldred's Edict, in a blue-black control variant in Pioneer. I'm excited to see it. You could even try this with a Super Friends build if you want to try that in Pioneer or in Standard, Commander even. This card is super, super exciting, in my opinion. I'm super stoked to get to play with it. Vraska is basically everything I want to be doing in Magic. Number 1, the Eternal Wanderer. This thing is 6 mana, but it might take Elspeth Sun's Champion in that sideboard slot in the Azorius control deck. Heck, I could even see you playing a main board copy of this thing because it's insane. Its up ability protects itself. Its minus ability makes a double striking token. And then, of course, that ultimate that you can play as soon as it enters the battlefield, you pick one of their creatures. So you can pick, like, you know, a crappy 1/1 or a mana dork or a token or whatever. Make them destroy all the other creatures on the battlefield. I really love Eternal Wanderer. It protects itself. It's a win condition in a can, just like the Wandering Emperor. This thing is going to be a powerhouse, especially in Standard, but I think it will see play in Pioneer. I know I am going to try it. I am super stoked for this card. This set is insane. Phyrexia All Will Be One is going to change, I think, a lot of formats, honestly. This is one of the most powerful and exciting sets since Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and maybe even it's more powerful than that. It seems like a Pioneer Masters almost, because there are just so many cards in this set that I think are going to see play in Pioneer, and, of course, affect not only Standard, obviously Commander, but even Eternal formats like Legacy. So this set is super awesome. Let me know, though, what are your thoughts? Do you love Phyrexia All Will Be One like I do? I am super excited for this set. Let me know in the comments below. Let's chop it up. I read all the comments. I respond to most of them. Be kind. Like the video if you enjoy it. Of course, subscribe. You made it this far. You might as well. I've been Les Alex. I appreciate you. Be kind to one another. And catch you in the next one, Control Freaks. Adios.